and Jimmy Garoppolo reuniting with former offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, who's now the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo signing a 3-year deal with Las Vegas. It seems like a pretty reasonable deal from the team's standpoint, about $67.5 million over 3 years with about $34 million guaranteed at signing. So Garoppolo looks like he will be the starting quarterback and the Derek Carr replacement in Las Vegas.
And Jimmy G is 40-17 in his career as a starter since he entered the league. I mean, his numbers are remarkable, and our friends at Caesars Sportsbook think that whole much of it. If you look at it here, that when they woke up yesterday, their odds were 40-1 to win the Super Bowl, and then when they went to sleep after signing Jimmy Garoppolo, their odds were 40-1. But Mike Tannenbaum has long been a Jimmy G supporter and defender. Shefty will be back with us in a minute. He's on the phone, which is could always be something incredibly important, and we all know what I'm hoping it is. But in the interim, with Jimmy G and that situation there, he goes to the Raiders. Why do you have reason to believe this could wind up being a lot more significant than Vegas is making it sound?
Because a good quarterback's going to a team that had 9 one-score losses, and in those games, 7 times Derek Carr threw an interception in the second half. Jimmy G is 40-17 as a starter over the last couple of years, and one of the biggest metrics for a quarterback is yards per pass attempt. His is 8.3, which leads the NFL over the last 3 years. I know the big question is going to be durability, and that's totally fair. But if the Raiders could clean up their back end, improve their pass rush, Chandler Jones had an off year. This is a team that should be in the playoffs next year, assuming that Jimmy Garoppolo plays at least 14 or 15 games. He's a really good player. Durability is the question.
All right, so Marcus, help me with this once and for all, because wins being a quarterback stat is one of the really great topics that we talk about all the time. There are some people, Mike T just did it, who attach those things to them, and then there are others who are fond of saying wins are not a quarterback stat. What do you think of that debate, and how does it apply to the significance of Jimmy G?
I hate the debate. I hate it. Wins, listen, man, wins are a team stat. All right, I hate to break that news to everybody. It's a team stat. This same guy that we talking about right now, and I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I love how he's handled what transpired in San Francisco. I think this is a great move for him to go to the Raiders with some veterans, with a good tight end and Wilder coming back. You obviously got Devontae. I think he can have a tremendous amount of success. So I don't disagree with Mike T on that. But more will be on him. He's been playing with a team that he's been insulated on. And if you want to argue with me, let's just go back to the NFC Championship a couple years ago, the divisional round, when he only threw 8 passes and his team won the football game against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay in Lambeau. Like, this is a team stat. We know how good this defense has been. We know how good this team is when you get the ball in Deebo Samuel's hands. And no, that doesn't omit plays that Jimmy Garoppolo has made. We've seen him do it, but we've also seen this, what we just saw pop up. So you talk about Derek Carr turning the football over late in games. That's been Jimmy Garoppolo's Achilles heel outside of the injuries. It's turning the ball over in very important times or not being able to make those plays. Think about Jimmy Garoppolo and how we would talk about him if he would have just had a pinpoint pass in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. Think about some of the decisions that he's made down the stretch, giving the ball away, that would change the course of how we talk about him. And ultimately, we judge these guys on those high leverage moments. So no, this is not to throw shade at Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, the Las Vegas Raiders feel good about him reconnecting with Josh McDaniels. But I need everybody to pause a little bit on all of these 40-17 records and all of that. Brock Purdy only lost 1 game in his career so far with the San Francisco 49ers. We think he going to the Hall of Fame? Hell no.
Marcus Spears is one of the finest and most intelligent and thoughtful analysts in football today. That is outstanding. Jimmy Garoppolo under Kyle Shanahan was extremely successful, as has every quarterback that has played under Kyle Shanahan been. And the fact of the matter is, the contract tells you what the league thinks of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, if he was going to get more than $22 million a year, I'm sure he would have gotten it. That wasn't out there for him. This is one they can get out of after 1 year and $34 million. He's a bridge quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, who have the 7th pick in the draft, and were trying to get the 1 pick from the Bears a week ago, and are still going to be looking at quarterbacks in that draft, I promise you.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Win for today and develop for tomorrow. But Josh McDaniels, if he was sitting right here, would tell you how much he likes Jimmy G as well, because he went out and signed him.
We know exactly how much.
All right,
$22 million a year.
Right, look, it's not huge money. We will see. It could wind up working out a lot better. Look, Jimmy G has had a lot of really surprising success in his career in different moments and different places. We'll see if he's got it in Vegas. In the meantime, you just heard Graziano. I'll remind everyone they've got that high first-round pick this year. Yeah. So when you say it's a 1 year and a bridge quarterback, maybe they still draft some. But the fact that they signed him does not preclude them from drafting a quarterback.
If you look at the structure of that contract, it's clear that it does not take them out of the mix for drafting a quarterback this year.
In the meantime, Mike Tannenbaum, I'll let you say it. This is a team that lost a lot of very close games last year. Their defense, I almost want to say, was so bad it can't get worse. And they have a lot of talent on that offensive side. A few balls bounce the right way. Garoppolo plays pretty well. What could the Raiders be this year?
In the playoffs right now, I think when you take a head coach like Josh McDaniels, who has confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo, they have a lot of good weapons from Darren Waller, obviously Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow. I think this will bring out the best in Jimmy G. It's all going to be about his health. And Greeny, like you said, even if they just get average on defense, Chandler Jones has to play better. Maybe they draft somebody on the back end. But I think this is one of these sneaky big signings, and it says a lot when a former head coach wants him back as his quarterback.
I agree with that. Swagger, what do you think?
I hope it works, okay? Listen, Mike T brings up the greatest point. Jimmy Garoppolo's health, which I don't think we talk about enough, has been a big issue in his career these past few years. We've talked about so much of how he's won with the San Francisco 49ers and things he's done. Jimmy Garoppolo has missed a lot of time, and that's issue number one. You do feel confident with him returning and working with Josh McDaniels. We saw Stidham have success with Josh McDaniels, and coincidentally, Stidham was with Josh McDaniels when he was in New England and brought him over. So you hope that Jimmy and they can recapture some of that understanding and ability to matriculate this offense in a better way. The other thing you got to do is you got to make sure you got Josh Jacobs in the building, because Jimmy Garoppolo needs a run game, right? The Las Vegas Raiders are not badly positioned. Defensively, they got to get a whole lot better. But offensively, this could be a team where Jimmy Garoppolo can be where he's been, a manageable quarterback that can make throws every once in a while to make plays down the field. And he got two of the best in the business, in my opinion, to throw the football to. And obviously, Devontae and Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow is a guy that can absolutely get open from the slot position. He's not walking into a bad situation when you talk about a team needing players. It's about his execution. More importantly, it's about his health. I think the Las Vegas Raiders can be fine. I don't know about playoffs because of the defense, but if they find some improvements there and Max Crosby can lead that group and make sure that they get on the right track, Las Vegas could be very competitive as long as Jimmy G stays healthy and takes care of the football. They have weapons, man. It is something to be optimistic about.
By the way, two things. One, just to give everyone a sense of what this week is like, Shefty is with us today, but right now he is off. He's on the phone. And as Marcus was talking, Graziano was just texting frantically with someone.
I'm sure that Marcus was saying everything exactly right. Like
no, I'm just pointing out. Stuff is happening all around us as we go, and it's fascinating to watch. The second thing I was going to say, and Swagoo, I would like to get your perspective on this, that Las Vegas just seems as though under the right circumstances, it would be the most fun place in the NFL to go play. And Jimmy Garoppolo just seems like he is better equipped to enjoy that than any other player in the league. Is it me, or does Jimmy G going to Vegas just feel right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Listen, I have Jimmy G is in the perfect place. Jimmy G was living like he was in Vegas when he was in San Francisco. We don't need to be reminded. We can all remember that Jimmy G had some dates that everybody paid attention to when he was out on the town. Now imagine him being out in Las Vegas. We all love Las Vegas. We all know that that's a great place. Jimmy Garoppolo is right where he needs to be. He's a handsome man based on everything that everybody has said, and I can see it too. I'm not blind. The ladies in Vegas, they go in and out. Jimmy Garoppolo seems to be a guy that likes to partake in the nightlife and do things to have a tremendous amount of success in his life. He has a lot of damn money, G. Okay, I know we're talking about this contract and it being friendly. This is still millions of dollars, and he's coming off a millions of dollars contract. He's in a perfect situation.
No, it's exactly right. Think of the nightlife he can enjoy. Celine Dion one night, and then the next night Cirque du Soleil.
Barry Manilow out there.
Barry
Think about it.
Manilow.
I mean,
That's,
you know,
that's
he
how
can
I
go
would
to
live it
catch
up.
and eat. Like Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think we can all agree that it's good to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in
Yes.
Vegas, baby, I can't think of a better. This is a marriage made in heaven. All right,
Jimmy
as
G
we
might
go.
have a he
How
might
we
have
get
a
on-
stay. He might have a residency when his career over in Las Vegas. Just showing up and
might.
just sitting in a chair and letting people look at him. That's gonna be his residency.
Okay, I like it. As we roll on. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.